And then we go back to my favorite character.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Real quick before we move on, there was one part I was surprised I did not remember. Where Flag says his time of transfiguration is at hand, and he is going to be quote born again out of a sand-colored beast.
Sounds very religious. Oh, this is a religious book, so
Well, yeah, for sure. But I'm like, I didn't remember that was going to happen.
squeezed out of labor becomes some great sand-colored beast that even now lay in the throes of its contractions.
And that he
Well,
all of a
that's fair.
sudden can do magic again, and that he couldn't before, I guess.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, so like something happened. Like he was just a bad dude, and now he's like a bad dude with superpowers.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, we know what happened, right? Because all things serve to be.
Well, right. He met a certain red fella.
Right, or a red fella's black fella, and they just merged into one fella. I'm not even gonna try to figure out that.
That's a good
Uh,
point. How is that even possible? I guess he could have been him before and didn't remember that.
I think it's a one of them there loopholes.
Yeah.
Again, I Flag was cool by himself. He don't need to be Walter. And right, yeah, and you're right. Like right now, he doesn't feel like Walter even a little bit. 'Cause he's not.
No, he's his
Yeah,
own thing. They're their own.
right. I am my own person, my own entity. I don't know if I'm a person.
But yeah, I
Uh,
just wanted to mention that because I'm like, interesting.
yeah, we've spent many hours down that rabbit hole. So, um,
Sorry,
there's no answer.
we can go back to Lloyd.
I think you know. Yeah, now we're on Lloyd. Funner conversation. um, Lloyd, just is this where he gets it finally? Because
Yes.
no, well, he doesn't get it yet because he's all like he's a hero or a celebrity. I guess I think is what he says.
Well,
So
this is
he's
the
all
section
basking in the sunlight.
where he learns.
Oh, that's it. This is where the lawyer's like, dude, you're gonna die and quickly. You get
Yep.
that?
Yeah. He's like, I
He's like,
only
I
killed
can't.
the one person. I'm like, it's like, oh, okay.
They're like they all got poker eyes. Well, except the one. I killed the one guy. But I mean,
But I mean, just don't
it
blame
goes
it on
back to
him.
I know it goes back to what he said in the last part. Like they couldn't wrap their brains around capital murder, but like drugs and driving without a license, they could knew they would be in trouble for it. uh, so yeah, dude, you're in trouble. And is any of that true? I wonder, like that whole thing. It feels like it had to be the way his lawyer was explaining it to him because
Oh,
that was
the Markham's law or whatever.
yeah the right to speedy trial means you're going to die really fast.
I
Um,
mean, I could see it being. I kind of understand the argument. Like,
Yeah, like I could definitely see that being true.
but I've never heard of anybody not being on death row for about 15 years first. I mean,
where this is Al. Where are we again? Arizona?
Texas, aren't we?
Yeah.
Or
I thought it
Arizona?
was Arizona.
No,
Okay, could be Arizona.
it's Arizona because I think they extradited him for that reason, or not extra. Is that the word? Yeah, whatever.
If they took him to a different state, that's the word. Yes.
Yes.
Um. Okay. Well, yeah. So Lloyd's basking in his celebrity because he thinks he's a hero. He thinks he's gonna I don't, do 10 to 15 years and be all right. So he's like, "Fuck it. That's part of my life. I'll be like, why? What part don't you get? I guess all of it you don't get. You're not doing 10 to 15 years. There's like 8 dead people behind you.
Right. He just very much strikes me as a child. Like he's not has no capability of understanding consequences. So, well, except for the drugs. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like Lloyd is he always feels like just in over his head. He doesn't really get it ever. He's just along for the ride. But
But
it,
he
but
has zero empathy, so it's like he just only cares about himself. So I'm like,
yes, he
whatever.
also has no morals at the same time. So
Yeah.
yeah. So it's which makes him very childlike because he hasn't developed them. Imagine a 5-year-old just running around doing what the hell they wanted all day.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, the lawyer brings it home. Yeah, and he's like, I didn't kill those people. Pope did. It's like, come on, man. Even I know that doesn't matter. If you were there, you're all getting charged.
I could see him not knowing that for sure. but what I think is insane is that he thinks he can get away with killing the 1 or 2 people. Like it's no big deal. It's like just one. Like, excuse me?
Right?
Just one. Okay, all right. We all get one, I guess.
Right? Hey, right, Spider-Man? Everybody
Right?
gets one. It's a good point. I only killed 1 or 2. Pope killed the rest. Like, right. So the fact, like, do you not even know 1 or 2? Is this like when the cop says how many beers? You're like 1 or 2.
It's just so callous. Like I said, it's so like psychotic or psychopathic, not psychotic.
I got a lawyer called him Sylvester.
He's smart enough to be that psychopathic, though.
You're right. Yeah.
Because I guess
I
does
think
require. Yeah,
No, I think he's just dumb.
Yeah, right. There's just nothing there.
he's just. Yeah, he doesn't qualify for the disabled list, but he's not in Mensa either. He's right in the middle, where he's smart enough to fuck his whole life up.
He just wants to be he wants to do whatever he wants to do and get away with it, and that's not how the world works.
Yeah, the consequences kind of don't matter, and he doesn't. Well, they matter, but he doesn't understand what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I can do 10 years, but I gotta be out in 7, whatever. No, that's not how this is going to work. You're going to get consecutive life sentences if you don't get fried. And you probably will get, 8 people for no reason. Why? Yeah, I guess we don't know. I guess there is no reason. Just Poke is insane. Like, why do they have to kill all those people?
For money. But yeah, they didn't have to kill them, for sure.
I get Gorgeous George, whatever, drug deal, that is what it is. But after that, like, you didn't have to shoot all them people.
Absolutely not. No, he wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe all the drugs they got had something to do with that. But I didn't make good decisions.
Drugs don't make you kill people.
They don't make you not kill people.
I've done a lot of drugs. It's never made me want to kill anyone.
No, but it has made me react in ways that I would not normally react. So, I could. No, I don't. Can't say I could go
violently though. Not
no, that's probably true. I don't. Well, the only thing I'm thinking of is like people. You go rob a liquor store because you need money to get more drugs or something like that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So not being on them necessarily will make you violent,
right? But trying to
you will do violent things in support of them. Just ask any heroin addict as soon as they run out of money.
Yeah, but if you have a gun, just point it at someone and take their shit. You don't need to kill them.
Right. So maybe
if you're so strung out that you don't realize what's happening around you, you could accidentally kill someone and not even realize it.
Well, that's very true.
And if you're that strung out, how steady is your trigger finger?
Yeah,
that too.
Trigger finger.
Yeah, I said
I like that.
I'm better though. I like it. Trigger finger or trigger figure.
Trigger finger.
Probably not very, right? Because you remember, Allie, have you seen Pulp Fiction where they're just driving and he's got the gun and he's not even looking at him and they hit a bump and the gun goes off in his hand and blows the guy's face off?
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So,
like that part probably shouldn't be funny, but it is funny.
Well, that's not real, so that's why it's funny.
I'm still amazed that I didn't realize there's no quarter pounder with cheese in Europe because because it's the metric system. Like that is so true. I never even thought of that.
What do they
Royale with cheese.
Yeah, see? Royale with cheese. So it's a Big Mac. I guess Big Mac's a Big Mac. Here we go. Anyway. So don't name anything after wait. That's what. Oh yeah. So do you know why you're being tried in Arizona rather than New Mexico or Nevada? So that he hit all 3 of them states.
Yeah, because that's what they were worried about. He knew that weren't They were
Yeah,
supposed
international drug trafficking or something.
to. Yeah.
Not international, cross state, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Arizona is one of 4 states that has a capital crime circuit court, which sits only in cases where the death penalty has been asked for and obtained. Okay, you're going to trial in 4 days. I don't think that's possible. First, you have to have a preliminary where you plead, and then you have to have another one where you do something else. I don't know. Well, maybe it was different back then, but there's no way in hell he'd be in actual trial in 4 days.
I agree. I don't think
Yeah.
like maybe once he gets sentenced, it happens very quickly, but not the original part.
And getting sentenced can take, 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and he probably didn't have money for a lawyer, so he probably got a public defender, which, I mean, to be honest, you don't even get a public defender in 4 days, I don't think.
That's a great point.
That's true. Yeah, their caseload. Yeah, the public defender. That's what that was. The public defender works for the state. Don't ever forget that.
Yeah, well, what does that mean? They're not trying to help you?
You never know. They're not going to be your best representation, is what that means.
Well, right, because they're free.
And they work for the state. No, I don't think that would be a factor. But they do what they can, but they have so much. They are, in my experience, are very overloaded. So it's almost like
Oh yeah.
like social
Yeah.
services, like an assembly line. All right, what do you got next, please? All right, next.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most of them, 90% of them are dumb little shit. I feel like,
Yeah.
especially since COVID, like you could just do that shit at home. You don't even need to go to court. Some of that like misdemeanor, non-violent dumb stuff. Anyway, Lloyd is not in that category.
No.
No.
Lloyd never pokerized nobody. Like Pope did. He did it all. He even made up that word. Like, yeah, well, Pope's not the smartest guy in the world.
Doesn't matter what you call it. It's just murder.
Pokerize sounds much more fun. Yeah, is that why? Is that why Poke said? That's what I was thinking. Like he didn't want to say murder. He's like, damn, I murdered him. Like that sounds harsh. So I pokerized him. That sounds much more friendly. It's what had to be done. No offense, like Jordan. So I guess this chapter is about Lloyd getting it. Yeah, I mean Lloyd's basically a murdering asshole, but I like the character. That can't tell you why. I like where his character goes, and getting ahead of myself.
He's an easy character because he's like it's very clear cut. He's not a good guy. So like it's just like that's who he is, and I don't like him, and they're like he's not ambiguous.
Maybe that's why we meet him that way, so right away. Lloyd's
Yeah.
not a good dude, but I still kind of like him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It makes him easier to like because it's just that that's who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no ambiguity. Like,
Well, and if he gets a redemption arc, then because he started out as not a good person, you're definitely going to like him when he does redeem himself. Not that I know where this is going, but just a guess.
Very true.
What you said is true, and that's all I have to say about that.
I feel like saying it like that is saying more.
Maybe it's deflection. I have an opinion on what she said, and I can't comment because it could be either way. I would say.
Right, he either will or he won't.
Yeah,
not what I mean.
He either ends up with the good guys or he gets further drawn down by Flag. I feel like that's one of the two ways this is going to go.
It's a very good guess.
Well, what does Flag have to do with Lloyd? Nothing, right? Where did we leave Flag? He's just like walking through the fucking.
He's on his way to Mountain View, Nevada.
Right, to meet that Chris Stapleton guy. Wait, that wasn't his name.
Chris Bradenton.
Yeah, he's an actual recording artist, right? Chris Stapleton. Isn't he a country?
Yes. He's a country singer, yes.
And then he got it was a songwriter, and they were like, "We want other people to do these songs," and he was like, "No, I'm doing them."
Well,
Like,
he has written songs for other people, but he does his own stuff too.
yeah, he started recording his own because he was like tired of, I guess, making money for other people.
I don't think he was tired of it. I think someone just convinced him, like, hey, you have a good voice. Why don't you also sing your songs instead of just writing them for other people? I think
Yeah,
his wife convinced him of that.
that was being somewhat facetious, but yeah. I mean, I would be kind of annoyed if I wrote a song and sold it to somebody and they got super famous and it was like the biggest song in the world. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, but you don't become a ghostwriter if you have a problem with that.
Well, I guess that's also true.
Or I don't know if it's ghostwriting in song or songwriter, whatever. You know
Well,
what
it's
I mean?
just a songwriter. It's not a, yeah.
But like,
Ghostwriter is like a book,
Well, and
right? Autobiography,
yeah,
isn't it a ghostwriter?
right.
ghostwriter is a book, and a lot of the times a ghostwriter is not credited. A songwriter is still credited.
Yeah.
Now, they don't get well known a lot of the time because no one turns up to look up songwriters.
Not everybody
But
can
it's
be
still,
Bernie
like, if you
Taupin.
write a song for Taylor Swift and it goes big, you're still gonna get a shit ton of money.
Well,
Well, and
right.
that's what I meant to say. Like, it reminds me of ghostwriting in the sense of like maybe you don't want all the fame, but you still want the money for it.
Yeah.
That's what we all want. Yeah, like Bernie Taupin. You know who that is?
No.
Damn,
Mm-mm.
got too old. Elton John, famous songwriter. Elton John's never wrote a lyric in his life. He's written the music, and Bernie Taupin has wrote every word that you've ever heard him sing.
Ed Sheeran wrote a lot of songs for One Direction.
Did not know that.
Really?
He was same thing. So he was like writing songs and then decided to do it by himself.
No, he wrote it for them. Like he was famous when he wrote it for them.
Oh, oh, like Prince and the
Because I think
Bangles.
they were friends or something, or maybe I don't know. Maybe he knew Simon Cowell. I don't
The Prince watched the Bangles play one night and like knocked on their door the next day and was like, "Here, I wrote a song for you."
know.
Uh, Manic Monday, one of their biggest songs. I'm sure you know it.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, 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 just another Manic Monday. Yeah, that's Prince gave him that song. He's like, "Here, I got enough of my own. I think you guys could do this one."
That's funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I, yeah, I don't know. Like that's awesome, but also like, are you a little bit like, hey, like I can do this?
It's kind of douchey, right? Like, fuck
Yeah.
you. I'm writing my own songs, but
This
I
guy
mean, yeah,
shows up. He's like, I don't need this money, so I wrote this song for you because you need it.
I mean, so would you say no?
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'd be like, thanks. Yeah, I don't think I would say no.
I would still take it. There's a lot of money in the Prince name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but it doesn't mean I would say no to him. I think when Prince knocks on your door and says, "I wrote you a song," you take it.
Well, when you said that, I thought like he was like he wrote a song about them, not like I
No,
wrote
I
a
know.
song for you to sell. Yeah.
Yeah, for you to perform,
Right.
like here. I'm so rich, I live in a purple estate, so I don't need this one. It was probably like on his B list. Like, it wasn't on the A list. Like he had ones that he thought were good, and this one wasn't as good. So it's like, oh, they can have that. And it was still like number one song for them.
It's like Stephen King pulling out Pet Cemetery.
Right out of the trunk. We're like, here, oh, fine. I'll show you a book. Yeah, I don't know what his plan there was, by the way.
Right.
Like because he
Take
was
that.
mad at them for the contract, and he owed them one more book, so he was like, fine, and he gave him Pet Cemetery. Like, what did he show them by doing that?
I think he didn't think it was a good book. I think that's
It
why
must
it
be.
was in the trunk and he wasn't going to publish it. And he was like, you want a book? Take this piece of crap. And it's like,
Yeah, only one of the best. Yeah.
right.
That must have been what it was. It was like, here, you take it. I showed them, Tabby. I gave them the shittiest book. Remember the one that was in the trunk about the one with the dead kids? And she's like, oh, yeah, that's number one now. Took about 4 days. Now all he has to do is like think about a book and it's already a movie and it went to number one before you even write the word.
I know.
Jesus Christ, I think they're working on Fairy Tale already.
I mean,
Wow.
hey, I'm not. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, just wow.
Yeah, I was saying I'm not complaining about Stephen King being super popular.
Nope.
No, there's definitely been a renaissance and I like it. I like redoing all the 80s movies that I've struggled through and I don't really watch anymore because they're just kind of too old.
Yes, same. This is what I wanted when I was a kid.
Yeah, I like that there's a new version of The Stand, but I don't necessarily like the story better. But I like the effects and all that. Um,
We're gonna do remakes though. Can we do a remake of The Shining, please?
that's gonna be hard
It's
just
gonna
because of Jack.
right.
He did a remake of The Shining his way, and nobody watched it, and nobody cared
Nope.
because it had Steven Weber in it from Wings. uh, you guys even know who that is?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, well, see, um, it's a nine. I think it was '90s miniseries remake he did. It might have been a TV movie, which usually is a death knell, but not for him because it was a TV movie also. I mean, usually, like when it's a TV movie, it's not that great, but that doesn't necessarily apply in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
feel like I did hear that um The Shining was also like a mini series or something, but I just haven't watched it.
he put the ending on it he wanted. Nobody cared. It,
Mhm.
I mean,
I just
I don't know if I should say that out loud, but Kubrick's ending was better. I gotta say,
ending was better. You said.
yes, with the maze and the hedge maze. Wait, we all know how it ended, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you mean like what part of him, like him dying, him being frozen?
None of that's in the book.
I understand. Is that what you like better?
Yes, all of it, going into the maze and all that,
And all what? I guess I don't remember.
getting lost, wandering around, chasing Danny through the
Uh,
maze, Danny finding his way out, all the hedge maze stuff, all the outside stuff. At the end, did not happen.
well, it happened
Yeah.
in the
Well,
book, but not in the end. It happened like in the middle.
Right, it didn't end. I'm saying like the ending is different. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, I don't want to. Have you guys read the book? Do you know the ending in the book?
I read it a long time ago. I mean, I don't really remember.
I know it's vastly different. I read it a while ago
I think
and I don't quite remember.
my only.
But I,
Sorry.
yeah, no, I just remember reading the book and then immediately watching the movie and being like, oh,
Well, the only reason why I said that is because I think Stephen King's problem with the ending is just that Jack doesn't have any redemption. I don't know if it's anything else.
Oh, it is.
So I don't. Yeah, like that's his problem. It's not necessarily the way in it. Otherwise, what happens?
No, it's the way it's different, completely different, 100% different, and he hates it.
Well, again, from what he said, he hates it because Jack doesn't have any redemption.
That that's the character arc, not the ending. He hates the character because he doesn't build up. You don't. There's nothing to like or not like. I think he's just a drunk from the beginning in the movie. He's complaining about. Anyway, we'll get there.
I'm just
There,
confused.
I
there's
thought he also just didn't like Kubrick.
Well, clearly, because a lot of people have changed things, and he doesn't seem to hate it that much.
that's a good point because almost all his movies get changed, okay, one way or another.
He took it real personal. I remember him talking about this in a speech he did because it was his he saw Jack as himself and himself getting sober and like redeeming and helping, saving his family. So by
Oh,
Kubrick changing that, he was like, hey, that's
yeah,
not what happened.
I think Jack was him without a doubt. Yeah, word, almost word for word.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the breaking the arm part, but
And that's why he hated that Jack actually was just evil in the movie.
I agree. But what movie has time to like do a character arc like that?
Yeah.
That's why books are better.
Anyway.
So yeah, we'll get to The Shining one day. But anyway, that would be hard to do because that character is so goddamn iconic. But
Yeah.
I think you could do it at this point. I think it's been long enough now. Most people, like, I guess in their 20s wouldn't even know who the hell Jack Nicholson is.
They probably do because of memes.
Yeah, that old guy that sits at the Lakers games.
No, that's not what I mean. Like his face is used in a lot of popular memes.
No, I know what you mean. I'm saying they might know him from that too, because he's front row seat at Lakers games for like 100 years. Um. All right. Anyway, back to Lloyd. We keep going off on
I think we're done with
very.
Lloyd anyway.
Well, the guards beat him up, and we move on.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, or the prisoner beat. I think they both do.
Well,
Actually.
yeah. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, there's not much else. So yeah, Lloyd's figuring out that he might die really fast, and that's it. All right, then we go back to Nick. Then that's all the parts that I was talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of did Nixon one.
Yeah.
Vince and Billy die. Mike asks him to let him out.
He lets him out once he goes to get food. He sees dead people.
He knocked on doors and rang bells.
Yeah, there was no answer, like basically anywhere, right?
Yep.
If those men had quarantined, he goes out to see the checkpoint. I don't know what to call it. Where the guards were that I can't remember. I think Jane maybe told him about that, or Soames.
Soames.
And there's a bunch of dead people, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You saw like the cloud of flies around the bodies.
Yeah. All right. Getting there, and then it's one of those. I like the chapters where he does the shit that's going on in the world, but this one got a little bit long for me. It's like, okay, I get it. Like shit's going to shit everywhere. This is one of those, what do you call it, Amber, world unbuilding chapters. This is what's going on here. This is this guy on this radio station. I like a guy's like, fuck you, you're gonna have to come kill me. And I like, okay.
Yeah.
So
see you in an hour.
I guess you thought this was still America.
I mean, it was kind of crazy that the soldiers immediately killed the sergeant because he killed the man. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, so clearly they didn't agree.
Right.
Maybe they should have done that before he killed the radio host.
I know.
I'm glad he came around, but the timing is awful.
I guess I didn't expect him to actually do it. I don't know.
Like, if he actually does it, we're shooting his ass. Yeah, and like not one had a problem with it, so clearly they had talked about it or something. The Los Angeles Times ran 26,000 copies. I like the Times has 5 questions that wishes the president would answer in his speech. Does he even make the speech? Oh, he does, but who cares? There's like 10 people left in the world at that point. And they're still trying to cover it. I'm reading the Duluth part. The man in khaki shorts and sandals walked up and down Piedmont Avenue with one of them. Do you remember the signboard guys that used to preach the end of the world?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what this is.
Yeah, that's what
so they should be happy, right? Mission accomplished, I guess. Like if you're predicting the end of the world, what do you do when it actually happens? Are you like, all right, good, you go home and drink a beer or something? Kind of rule of darkness. So that's just more world unbuilding. Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Well, the soldiers did open fire on students, right?
Oh yeah. I forgot about that part. I was listening to the audiobook for that part, and the guy did such a good job.
Did not audiobook that part. I actually read that one. I probably should. I kind of want to go back and do that. Yeah, because it's all hectic and
they're like, oh God, like, I can't believe he's mowing him down. Oh God, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah, I like the way he switched. Yeah, like they're communicating over like the radio. I like the way he did that.
Yeah.
It gives it more of a you feel like you're living it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh God. So clearly the soldiers are bad people, I guess. Like nobody ordered them to mow down the students, right? They just started. Like all the soldiers, like I feel like Stephen King doesn't have a high opinion of the army because all the soldiers are doing very bad things.
Yeah, I have to say, I don't think they would just all turn to this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're in a different country. These are your neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that that makes it okay if you're in a different country, but it'd be easier to do, you know.
I also like it seems like it's pretty nationwide at this point. Like why are we still doing this? I don't understand.
And what's with the guy on TV executing people?
That
It,
I guess was supposed to be like I don't know.
that's like Armageddon. Is he completely insane? I don't.
What I didn't understand is like
Isn't
why I'm like what's the racial motivation there? I guess it's like it had to be black people getting revenge on the military.
that what it is? Are they all black?
That's what he said. Well, the ones that were killing people.
His colleagues also black, also nearly naked, also wore loincloths. Yeah, yeah. I mean, so they were like going back to like caveman days where they're wearing nothing but a loincloth and like well, I guess caveman didn't have guns, but still executing people.
So like who is that group? Or like they were also military men?
I'm
Yeah,
not sure. And where did it? Yeah. So is this just like I don't know what I'm allowed to say here. Like some kind of revolt,
That's
an uprising against being oppressed,
That's what I'm saying.
or
I'm very confused about the motivation here. I'm like, I feel like it could have just been like race didn't have to have anything to do with it. It could have just been like,
no.
hey, we're members of the military and we hate that we're oppressed and now we're gonna kill the high-ranking leaders. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's interesting because he almost never tells you like what color people are. He'll do facial features and stuff sometimes, but he never says.
So that's
And not never, but generally he doesn't say what color they are.
and that's why my guess is that it's supposed to be some kind of like because this is not long after the civil rights movement and stuff like that. Like,
Well, it's fine.
well,
Yeah.
like, well, I mean,
Mm,
yeah, we're like
10 years.
mid-70s.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of forget what the world's like while he's writing some of these stories. Huh? Carrie came out in '73. That was Watergate, Vietnam. Uh, yeah, but he definitely, wants us. To me, that said, he definitely wanted us to know that they were that color for whatever reason. But I don't know that he ever gave us a reason.
Right, exactly.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with race. I think they were just insane. Like they flipped their gourd or something.
Right.
Or revenge. I don't know. It could have been revenge.
Like I could totally
but they
see
were.
that happening because like society is breaking down and law and order is going away or whatever. But like again, I didn't really understand the angle he was going for.
Yeah, they went straight to fucking executing people.
No, not that.
Like,
I'm
okay.
fine with that. I mean, look at you seen Orange is the New Black?
Yeah.
But it's again, I didn't understand the race part of it.
Yeah. And we're not gonna. So.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think there is no race part. They're just insane. And
right.
maybe
And the world
maybe they really did.
going to chaos.
They didn't like basic training. Maybe they figured they're gonna get if the world's ended, they're not gonna go get sent to die for anybody. I don't know. Maybe a lot of things. The president did give his speech, although we didn't get to hear it all.
I'm sorry, real quick. I remember who was watching it. Rita? Somebody mentions it. No, I can't remember who it was.
Fran.
Yeah, and was like this fake execution. Like, surely it couldn't be real. I'm like, oh, honey.
Oh yeah, it was Franny, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That couldn't be real, could it? I'm like, oh well, you're gonna be leaving your what's the word? Prejudices behind there pretty quick. I like how the president doesn't even get through his speech, and he's talking about how nothing's wrong, there's a vaccine, don't worry about it, and then he just breaks down and spasm coughing in the middle of it. It's like COVID, like, oh God, you got it. As soon as you cough. That's what I never understood. Like COVID just seemed like the cold to me. It was more respiratory, I guess, but it was like, okay, it was like getting a cold for like 2 weeks. It was definitely longer.
Well, if you're healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, well, that was the thing. That's what yeah, I remember that. You just never knew.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was healthy people dying too. So like I was like, I'm not taking the chance if I don't have to.
Exactly.
Oh, I worked in a damn hospital and I didn't get it.
And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like every time I get a cold now, my cough is different than it was before I had COVID.
Really?
Yeah, like
Huh.
it's just like I feel like it will affect me forever.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Nobody knows yet, right?
Sorry,
I
Allie.
had a shortness of breath for a long, long time after I didn't have any symptoms from COVID. I would still get have a hard time breathing deeply.
Yeah, I think we're gonna find out even more effects about it coming down years down the road.
Yeah.
You're gonna find out what long COVID really is. Anyway, so then we move on to Larry, who's watching a monkey die. That would be kind of surreal, I guess. I didn't even think about stuff like zoos. Like if everybody dies, well, I guess all the animals just die because they're all in cages, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Peter or somebody's running around letting them out. It would make it much more interesting to exist, I have to say, with wild animals running around like that.
Well, I mean, not for nothing, but I don't know. I don't want them to die, but I also don't want them to be like a lion running around the street where I am.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to be able to walk down the street if I have to.
Yeah.
But maybe I wouldn't be able to anyway because of the crazy ass people that are left. Who knows?
Also, that's very true.
Might be like, what's this zombie movie where they're in the high rise and they like stay in their apartment because it's too dangerous out there. Can't remember.
I don't know.
I feel like that's a lot of movies.
Actually, I have two zombie movies for you, Amber, but they're not traditional.
Okay.
It's not like, oh God, another zombie movie, so they're not like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like how Larry calls him the monster shouter.
I know.
He always does that cool ass stuff. Well, the monster shouter's at it again because I can hear it. I can hear him like walking around shouting while Larry's like sitting on a bench in Central Park.
And how later he's like afraid that he's gonna like be right outside his window or something.
Yeah. He's like shouting right at his face. And then Rita calls him something like the guy with the scar and the thing. And Larry's like, oh, the monster shouter. She's like, oh, is that what you call it? But like, because it's like him injecting in personality into one character and not the other. So not everybody sees him as the monster shouter, just Larry. I identify with Larry. He's very relatable. Especially because he he wants to be good, but he's not a nice guy. So he has that struggle all the time, and I can relate to that because I don't always, nobody always does the right thing, even though they want to.
Yeah.
So,
well, actually, I can't say anything yet because we don't know what happens with Larry. But I was gonna say well, actually, never mind. I was gonna say he would have been a different person probably if this had never happened, but I think everybody would have been a different person if this had never happened. So.
Well, it was interesting. The whole thing with Rudy really tells you how
I know
kind of person Larry is.
I mean,
they split up over him paying him, and he's like, his brain had subtracted $25 from the 310s and had said to him, that only leaves $5. Therefore, you already paid him back. I'm not sure when, but you did. Like,
that just sounds like addict brain to me.
It does. Like, I mean, it does sound like addict brain. You'll argue to the death whether you know or not, and you'll make it right in your head. You'll change your memory if you have to. And then that's when we do the whole mom thing. I like it. The monkey died at 11:45. Oh, the monkey died.
This is his entertainment now.
I can picture him kind of just sitting out the window. Yeah, I can picture that. Like I Am Legend. He was doing. You ever seen that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Willie.
watching the animals. Um, birds apparently didn't catch the flu.
Birds and cats
I beg,
did not get the
I
flu.
beg to differ. Apparently, he's never heard of bird flu.
This flu.
This is not the flu. This is Captain Trips.
It's a version of the flu. They're calling it the super flu.
They don't know what else to call it. Is it technically the flu? I don't know. I guess it is.
I think it is in the way that COVID is. Well, I guess it's not a version of the flu. I don't know. Whatever.
That's what I'm saying. COVID's not the flu, but it sure seems like the same damn thing, doesn't it?
Well, they call it a super flu. I don't know what that means. But anyway, the point is that birds and cats in this story do not get the flu, but dogs do, which I'm like, what? I don't even understand how that works.
Because dogs care more.
Not the dogs. Not the dogs.
Yeah, cats like whatever. Dogs actually give a shit. So yeah, we did the Larry part basically too. So
I'm sorry, I don't mean to get hung up with this, but I'm like, are there other animals that are alive, or just birds and cats? Like, what is that? Why?
well, if there is a Central Park Zoo, so I'm thinking two of everything, all Noah style.
Well, yeah, but like the monkey got the flu. He just said that.
What do you mean? Do the other animals get the flu?
No, do other animals not get it?
I thought he was saying that the animals were dying of like starvation.
So I just read this part. You're right. So blah 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 blah. They had not died of the flu. They had gotten no food or water for God knew how long. The monkey had been smart enough to outwit starvation or death by thirst, but it surely had a good case of super flu.
Oh.
So
could be both.
So does that mean that the other? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
I don't think there's an answer to that, honestly.
Right. I don't think he has an answer to that.
Right. So, and then Franny meets Harold. Is that what happens?
Well, Larry, did we talk about Rita at all?
No, we didn't.
Well, there's not really much to say. I mean, he just meets her.
There's not much to say about Rita yet, right? He meets her on the bench. She talked about the guy who's the monster shouter. She is like, New York Housewives or something. She's one of them kind of people.
She's wearing four rings and, well,
I think she has goddamn heels on too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So she's not going to last long. And I think she may know that.
I mean, she's also addicted to something because she's popping pills.
Valium, if I had to guess, something like that, right? What do rich housewives take?
Xanax.
Yes, that's just stronger. Wow, damn. Xanax is just stronger Valium, I think.
I didn't know that.
I remember it.
Damn, Xanax is crazy, and I can't believe they prescribe that.
All I ever did was fall asleep when I took it. So like, okay, I guess if I ever need to fall asleep.
Yeah, well, housewives just, at least on the show, all they ever do is drink, and that's not a good combination.
I mean, we should do that on purpose, not just like living our lives. You know what I mean? Well, tonight we'll go get a 12-pack and pop some Xanax. They're just like doing that while they go to work. Well, not that they go to work, but
thankfully they're not driving themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so I think Rita is well aware of her situation.
I feel like I would be. I mean, I have said this before. I've probably said this since we started this book, but I would be Rita. I would be like, "Yep, I'm not cut out for this. I'm gonna die." Like, I don't care. Or I'm not gonna try very hard. We don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's probably trying to latch on to whoever. Larry's probably the first guy she saw that wasn't the monster shouter.
I don't even get the sense that she's trying to latch on to him. I just think it feels like she's just high and in a state of shock and just like.
Yeah, it could be. I'm sure she, a bunch of people she knew died too.
Yeah. It's just so funny when, like,
Um,
I can't imagine meeting somebody in this world and they're like, so, how's life been?
right?
Everybody you know is dead too? Cool.
Yeah, that was your day. It was about the same as mine. Yeah, that would well, this it'd be everybody would be able to relate, right?
Right.
Um,
Would you even need a support group?
I
I
was
think
thinking
that
that.
is your support group.
Yeah.
Well, the support group, well, there's only 12 people left in the world, so it wouldn't be too big, right? Well, I don't think we know about other countries at this point. We just know that it killed America,
Well,
the
Well,
United States.
in the devolution of the world chapter, it was saying like it's spread to London and France and
Oh,
blah
it
blah
did?
blah.
Oh, okay.
well, yeah. I mean, I knew because it started in America, but like, come on, we saw how quickly COVID spread around the world.
I mean, it takes one person on a plane and it's too late because all them people are going all different places.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened to COVID, I think, wasn't it?
Yep.
They're trying to track down Typhoid Mary, and it was too late.
Typhoid Mary.
You guys know what that is?
I do, yeah. That's why I'm laughing.
Okay.
It sounds familiar, but I cannot say what it is.
The
The woman,
carrying it but not sick person,
yeah.
spreading it but not getting sick.
And they didn't
Yes.
realize until after she had killed all these people,
Yeah.
and she had to be isolated.
Yeah, she was. Typhoid fever. I don't even know what that is, but that and tuberculosis used to be like really bad problems because of all the amazing health conditions we used to live in.
Yeah. No, I don't want to get too political. Like, and I can't understand why people don't like vaccines.
Yeah.
Well, all the anti-vaccine numbnuts, like, hey, you all got vaccinated when you were a kid, right? Like, I'm not vaccinated. I'm not giving them COVID. Like, well, you gave them every other shot. What the fuck is the problem with this one?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Let's not even get started on
Yeah, yeah.
that.
Uh, I think the world is devolving still. Oh no, we're all on Franny. Yeah, I don't care about Franny. We did Franny.
Well, the
Meets.
only part this is when she meets Harold, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
I love how
What is that?
she's like, I can't believe there's only one other person left in town, and it has to be him. She's like, I don't even like him.
And there she goes being Franny again, being a bitch to him right away.
Well, I mean, so
What did he do to her?
he's well, I guess I don't know if she says exactly what he's done, but if she already thinks he's a huge, well, maybe she doesn't think that. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah,
I
why?
mean, she thinks he's creepy.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. So clearly he's done stuff to make her think that, and I.
Well, maybe he's little brother, so it probably, maybe he has, maybe he hasn't.
You're right, actually. And now that I thought about that, maybe that's just her perception.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised either way. Wouldn't put it past Harold to have done something completely creepy. But,
and besides, you yourself said you can't help what you think, and it's not. She didn't do what she thought. She said, "Stop it."
what is
She told herself, "Just stop it. He's another living human being. Over here, Harold." She called, like, cause she was gonna let him just drive on by.
it's
Yeah.
true, and maybe she should have.
Hey.
I don't know. Would you leave? Like, because his plan is to get the fuck out of there because he never liked it there anyway. But if you're her, do you leave town to do what?
Well, for that
To go
matter, though,
where?
why stay? Like,
Yeah. I mean, there's other than Franny, who's basically being a bitch to him. There's no one else there, so why
Well,
would you
not for
stay?
him, for her. I mean, he's trying to get her to go with him. Like, I don't even know that I would.
I think
Not yet, anyway.
I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
And then we're back to that, though. So your only choice is Harold,
Right.
Amy's poopy little brother. Of
But
all
at
the
least it's a
people,
person.
Huh? At least it's a
At
person.
least, yeah.
so she must. I mean, I guess she really doesn't like Harold because she's like one step away from no people.
Yeah.
Harold's, you know, what's the expression? Not if you were the last person on Earth.
Right.
Well,
Literally.
here we go. Uh, it's yeah. I don't know. She's judgy, but at least she like didn't say that out loud. She did do that part and said, "All right, come on, man."
Yeah.
I mean, when there's 5 people left in the world, maybe the rules have to like be relaxed a little bit.
And like again, we don't know if he's done anything or not, but I, have definitely been in that position of like I don't want to be around this creepy boy or guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I think at least every woman, if not every person, has dealt with that to an extent.
Right.
And I get it very much, but it's also like if it's someone who can get you out of town and who can help you find other people when there's no one else, is it better to try it yourself or is it better to have that support system?
Right.
does he need to get out of town?
Why would you stay?
I wouldn't want to.
Why would you go?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go?
There's so much like I don't know, like staying in that town where you grew up and seeing nobody there anymore, like everybody's dead. I don't know. It would just be kind of traumatic for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know what I would do. I guess I would go just for the sake of going
I mean, go
because there's
like I think going makes sense because you want to go find other people.
see what the world's like because you're not getting any information incoming.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, how big is this? If I go to the next town, does it look just like Algonquin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um. And, yeah. What she did? She's burying her dad in the garden. I like how like, but in the garden, Fran. I mean, come on.
I know.
Like, and she rails on him, but like, I mean, that kind of made sense to me. Seems like a lot of work. I don't know that Franny would be able to carry her dad down the stairs or dig a hole deep enough to get him in it. All I
Yeah.
can picture is burying a shallow grave and then all the animals coming and eating them. So,
Well, are
Yeah.
there animals?
yeah, I don't know,
Birds.
Well, birds
right?
and cats. Actually, yeah, you're right.
Birds and cats will peck your face off.
Yeah.
For sure.
Um, it just seemed like a lot of work. Like, she'd have been fucking exhausted if she could even have done it.
Well,
Um,
do y'all's books have illustrations?
a couple.
Yeah, like one or two.
The last
Yeah.
one I have, I think, is Larry and his mom.
Well,
Oh
mine
yeah.
has the guy in the phone booth from the last section, and then it has Franny carrying her dad, and she looks fucking ripped. And I'm like, I feel like that's not accurate, but
I
okay.
see. Yeah, he's like over her head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way. Yeah, she does look. Well, God damn.
I have the same picture. She looks like the Hulk.
Yeah,
Her
like
hand up on the
Yeah.
top right, her hand there, it looks like some kind of witch's hand thing. It doesn't look like it's even hers. Yeah, so that's not, I'm just gonna say Molly Ringwald. That's the Franny eye picture.
I can see that.
She is Franny in the first one.
Oh,
Maybe I was that bad? Should I not have done
I don't think it matters.
that? Right. I'm not gonna tell you who Nick is. You're gonna have to figure it
I
out.
now that you've told me that he's not black like I had in my head, I don't know why, but my brain substituted Nick Jonas.
Wow.
Well, that's kind of what
I'm
he
gonna let you
looks
keep
like
that one.
on the show. Not that
I'm,
different.
I'm gonna let you keep that one until this is over. We have to watch these things. We have to do like a watch party or something.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. So fuck Franny, and then what? Um. Back to Stu. I mean, are we done with Franny? There's not. She. You know, Harold leaves. She dreams about uh the Dark Man. What does she dream of?
Yeah, she does. Her
She
body.
was grinning. She couldn't see his face. A wave of frigid cold blasted up at her from that awful grin. She, oh, he was bringing her a coat hanger. Very nice.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
I just said right. I forgot. Yeah.
No, what did Allie say?
No, I forgot about the coat hanger part.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, so did I until I just read what I highlighted. Like, ooh, that's ouch. It's an old, I guess, 70s joke there.
Joke.
Well, it was,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what the joke was.
No, I know what the joke is. It's just an interesting.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
I mean, the word itself is open to a lot of interpretation. Um, so Stu screams rat and it works for some reason. He has this whole plan. I don't know. His getting out of there was really easy, if you ask me. Everything was just simple, but you
I
know,
mean,
everyone's dying also, so there's not many people left taking care of them.
right.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just let him go? Why didn't the guy just come in and say, "Get the fuck out of here"? Like I forget what his name was. The soldier guy was like, "You're gonna die because that's my orders, and that's all that matters."
Well, he didn't even say he was gonna die, but he had a gun on him, so it's kind of implied.
Right. You don't have to like figure that out too bad because they never.
Well, because Stu has a moment where he's like, "What if I was wrong? What if he wasn't gonna kill me?" And then something.
Yeah.
What happens that changes his mind? I can't remember. I think Elder comes after him or something. I don't know.
Well, Elder comes after him, and then the guy in the hall who he meets who's
Oh yeah.
dying is basically like, "Oh, you wouldn't have gotten out if he wasn't sick."
Yeah.
Hey, doesn't he tell him to like I don't know, give his wife a message or something? He's like, "Hey,
No, he says, "Kill me."
oh, maybe that's what it is." Well, that was close. Um, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Just seems a little convenient, but we had to get Stu out of there. So Stu breaks out into the Vermont, right? And what's chapter 30?
That's just,
Uh, Arnett is going to shit.
yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
Is that what 30 is? Oh, Arnett's gone.
It's the silence.
Yep. Oh, except for the churr and whisper of small animals.
I know. Oh, there's a family of squirrels. Okay, so squirrels are alive.
Oh, of course they are. Rabies carrying motherfucker. Um, yeah, I don't think we know the rules. I don't think there are any rules. So anyway, and the podcast. Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.